If you're part of the modern economy, you've definitely felt what we're calling the American cutoff line.
Oh, yeah. It's that invisible wall.
Exactly. It's this barrier where if you fall below it, the pressure just becomes immense. We've read all your sources,
Yeah.
and the usual take is always, it's about crushing the poor or trapping the middle class.
Or that the whole system is just broken.
Right. And that anxiety, that feeling that you're just one emergency away from disaster, that's very real. So today we're doing a deep dive. We're taking everything you sent us and trying to figure out what this cutoff line actually is.
Because the standard story is missing something.
It really is. We think we need to look at this not just as a class issue, but, maybe it's a mechanism, something designed to push us into a specific role.
Yeah.
That's our mission today. Just clarity on how this thing really works.
And if you start with that idea, you immediately get to the core thesis of this whole thing.
Okay, what is it?
The American economy isn't fundamentally designed to make the average person wealthy. That happens for some, sure.
A very select few.
A very select few. For everyone else, the entire system is built to maximize one thing: consumption. It's all about keeping the money moving, keeping people spending.
So you're saying we should see the country less as a traditional democracy and more as a, what do the sources call it?
A consumption state.
The consumption state. That one shift in perspective, it changes everything. Because if you accept that, then all the stress, the debt, the feeling of always being behind.
It suddenly makes a kind of cold, clinical sense.
It's not chaos.
Oh.
It's a machine doing exactly what it was built to do.
Yeah.
And you're just a part of it.
Let's dig into that role, the citizen's role. In a country built on consumption, your most important job, it shifts.
It's not what you think it is.
Right. It's not worker. It's not voter. It's definitely not taxpayer in the old school sense. Your most essential function is consumer. You exist, financially speaking, to buy things.
And that leads to this really surprising idea about personal finance.
Yeah.
We're all taught that saving money, not spending, is responsible. It's a good thing.
It's neutral at worst.
But in a consumption economy, the material suggests that not spending isn't neutral at all. It's actually seen as a form of resistance.
It's economically the same as resisting taxation. The system needs that money to keep flowing to survive.
Wow. So every dollar I save is a dollar the system feels it's lost.
That's a good way to put it. Think about it. The economy is measured by GDP, right? And GDP is mostly consumption. So a dollar sitting still is a problem. It's friction.
Which explains why the cutoff line isn't just one single rule.
Exactly. It's not a law you can find. It's more like a net made of thousands of little pressures, little rules, little psychological nudges.
And they're all designed to do what?
Push you to spend more, spend earlier, spend automatically, and this is the key part, spend without really thinking about it.
Okay, let's get concrete. How does this net actually, tangle you up day to day? A great place to start is American billing culture. It's intentionally confusing.
Oh, it's a nightmare. The paperwork.
Think about medical bills. They show up, 3 months late? They're filled with codes you can't understand. Then there's an explanation of benefits that explains absolutely nothing about what you owe.
Or your phone bill with all those little regulatory fees and carrier charges just tacked on.
And the insight here is that this confusion isn't a mistake. It's not just bad bureaucracy.
No, it's a feature. It's part of the design. If the bill was simple and clear, you'd question it. You might even fight it.
But when it's just this overwhelming document,
The psychological cost of fighting it is just too high. The time, the stress, the fear it goes to collections, it's easier to just pay it.
so you pay first, ask questions later. Spending becomes a kind of blind box.
And the system also trains you that trying to be frugal is, pointless.
You mean these anti-restraint signals?
Exactly, like with utilities. Let's say you live in a big apartment building where the water bill is averaged out among all the residents.
Okay.
You could make a huge effort, turn off all the lights, take 5-minute showers, really cut back.
Be the responsible one.
But when the bill comes, your heroic effort might save you, $2 on a $150 bill?
Right, because your savings are diluted by everyone else.
So what's the system teaching you?
No.
It's teaching you that restraint is futile. Why bother conserving if you're paying for your neighbor's long showers anyway?
You might as well just use the electricity yourself.
Which drives consumption right back up. Mission accomplished for the system.
And this mandatory spending even gets tied into your social identity. The sources call this respectability culture.
This is a big one. Being respectable isn't about being a good person anymore. It's defined by what you spend.
You have to live in a right neighborhood to get into the good schools, which means you need a certain size mortgage.
You need the right car. There are studies showing that showing up to a job interview in an old, beat-up car can actually disqualify you.
So respectability is like a down payment on opportunity. It's the cost of entry.
It is. And if you don't meet that spending threshold for your house, your clothes, your car, the system treats you as if you're unreliable, even if you have zero debt and money in the bank.
Which brings us to what happens when you try to get around the system completely. Self-sufficiency.
Yes, the leaks. If you try to live a genuinely low-cost life, the system looks at you sideways.
Because you're a leak in the flow of money.
A perfect example is the laws against sleeping in your car. It's often called loitering or illegal camping.
But what's really happening?
When you sleep in your car, you are bypassing everything. Rent, mortgages, utility bills, property tax, insurance.
You've just exited one of the biggest consumption loops there is.
And that leak has to be sealed, so it becomes a crime.
We even see this in really small, almost absurd ways, like homeowners associations.
Oh, for sure. Or even city rules that say you can't hang your laundry out to dry.
Or grow a big vegetable garden in your front yard.
And you have to ask why. It's because growing your own food means you're not at the grocery store. Air drying your clothes means you're not running a machine that uses energy.
You're breaking the loop.
Every small act of independence is a threat. It lowers your spending, it reduces the system's throughput so it eventually gets regulated. Independence is the enemy of the consumption state.
And if we trace this all the way back, we have to talk about education and debt.
The starting point for so many people.
We joke about Americans being bad at math, but the sources argue the education system sort of encourages that. It pushes comfort over calculation.
So you get adults who don't really question compound interest, they don't really understand APR, they can't project long-term costs.
And if you don't like to calculate,
you are much more likely to take on debt.
And debt is the engine.
It's the engine of early consumption. It locks you into the system before you even know the rules of the game. High tuition is a perfect example.
It's not just about the cost of the education.
No. It's about locking in your future cash flow through student loans. By the time you're old enough and financially literate enough to see the trap, you're already in it for 20 or 30 years.
You can see the net, but you're too tangled up in debt to get out.
So we have this highly efficient machine, the consumption state, designed to pull money out of you. But there's a second piece to this.
Right. The sources said it's a two-part system. The other half is America as a financial state.
This is what completes the loop. Consumption gets the money out of you. The financial state decides where that money goes.
And it makes sure the money never really leaves the system.
Exactly. Money that's just sitting there like cash in a savings account. It's seen as wasted potential. It's not being put to work.
Which is why holding cash is basically punished. The interest rates on savings accounts are so low they don't even keep up with inflation.
Your money is literally losing value every year.
Plus you have account fees and all that. This system is pushing you. It's forcing you away from saving and into investing.
And the system has a very narrow definition of what investing means.
Stocks, mutual funds, 401k.
Yep. And this creates what the sources call the psychological lock. Your retirement, your future security, is now almost completely tied to the performance of the stock market.
So if the market goes down, your future goes down with it.
Which means you end up defending the market even when it might not be in your long-term interest because your survival depends on it.
And that explains why valuation is rewarded more than actual cash, like with stock buybacks.
Yes. A company will use its cash to buy its own stock, which inflates the stock price, the valuation, instead of just paying that cash out to shareholders as a dividend.
Why do that?
Because cash from a dividend can leave the system. You could use it to, I don't know, pay off your house or just save it. But valuation, that stays locked inside the financial system, growing the market's narrative.
This is why you hear about billionaires whose wealth is a valuation story.
Exactly. Their wealth grows faster from belief in the market than from actual cash their companies are making. It's a closed loop.
So where does this leave the middle class? They seem like the most vulnerable people in this whole structure.
They are the perfect fuel for the machine. They have enough income to consume, enough stability to invest, enough credit to borrow.
But no actual control.
Zero control. They are the ultimate throughput mechanism. Every extra dollar they make from working harder or a side hustle just flows right back into the system.
It increases their throughput, as the source said, but not their escape velocity.
They're just running faster on a treadmill that's also speeding up. They never actually get off.
Okay, let's pause and add some perspective here, because this system isn't the only way to run an economy. The sources brought up a really useful contrast.
The industrial export state model.
Right. Tell us about that.
Think about, say, post-war Japan or parts of modern Germany. In that model, consumption is actually held back. It's restrained.
Why? What's the goal?
The goal is to save up capital and then pour it back into production factories, technology, so you can grow by exporting goods, not by domestic spending.
So the culture looks different. Long work hours, fewer vacations.
A huge emphasis on delayed gratification. Money isn't for burning on wants. It's for investing in national industrial capacity.
And the really important point here is that neither system is good or bad.
No, they're optimized for different things. The pain, the friction people feel happens when you're living in one system, but you have the expectations of the other.
Trying to live a high savings lifestyle inside a high consumption state is just a recipe for misery.
It is, which gets us to the big question everyone's asking. Can you actually escape the American cutoff line?
And based on everything we read, the honest answer is not easily. It's exceptionally rare.
And it seems to only happen in 3 very specific ways.
Okay, what are they?
1, you become a beneficiary. You own a piece of the consumption or financial machine, so the rules start working for you.
2, you move so fast you outrun it. Like massive sudden success that gives you real cash, real liquidity.
Or 3, you find a way to arbitrage between systems. You exploit the loopholes.
And what doesn't work?
Emotional resistance, getting angry about it. The system doesn't care if you're mad. It only responds to alignment.
Which is why the most painful place to be is what the sources call the half-aware.
Yes, the person who sees the trap. They know about the hidden fees. They know saving is futile, but they don't have the resources or the know-how to actually change their position.
So the cutoff line isn't really there to just crush everyone. It's there to force a choice.
A binary choice. You either participate fully, you align with the system's goals, or you exit completely. You find a way to be self-sufficient outside its walls.
Because that middle ground.
That's where you get crushed. It's the place with the most friction.
So as we wrap up, what's the one thing we want you to take away from this? For me, it's just clarity.
Yeah.
No system, no large-scale system exists to make you comfortable. It exists to sustain itself. And your job isn't to fight it with outrage. It's to understand its logic and then position yourself accordingly.
That is the final synthesis, I think. The stress of the cutoff line isn't really about how much money you have. It's about how well your life's logic matches the system's logic.
And once you see that, you stop fighting shadows. You can start making real choices.
And I'll leave you with one final thought to chew on from this deep dive. If not spending is a form of economic resistance, what does the system consider the most productive form of unpaid labor?
Ooh, that's a good one.
It's not building something or cleaning something. It's the constant mental work you do searching for the next new thing to buy, the next essential subscription to add, that hunt for the next purchase. That's the real unpaid work that keeps the whole machine turning.